Sean Payton's out there. Sean's out there, probably in Dallas, just waiting for it. So, again, Dak is going to have to be really good, and he's going to have to basically carry the team on his shoulders like his contract reflects.
You know, it's probably too early for hot seat talk, Graz, in most circumstances. But as Nate just referenced, Sean Payton, now a coaching free agent. There has been some speculation about Mike McCarthy's future in Dallas. What does a successful season look like to keep him off that hot seat?
I think honestly he's got to win playoff games. I don't think it's if Mike McCarthy gets the Cowboys to the playoffs this year and loses in the first round again, I think he could be in trouble. They think very highly of Dan Quinn as a potential head coach, and he's the defensive coordinator. So they feel like, you know, this could be the guy that succeeds McCarthy if McCarthy doesn't get it done. They do have faith in McCarthy. They have belief in McCarthy. He's the guy they hired, but I do think if they don't have playoff success this year, he could be on that proverbial hot seat.
Lewis, you look at that schedule, and right out of the gates, Tampa Bay and Cincinnati. How dicey could things get early in the year for Dallas?
Oh, it could get dicey real quick. I mean, and look, number one, they're good football teams, okay, that they're playing up against. But here's the thing. Dallas is going to be able to put itself in position to win those games as well as any other on their schedule because they have enough good players to do so. As long as, and I'm saying 1 through 53, as long as three important parts of this organization uphold their end of the bargain and actually go beyond a little bit. Yeah. That being the head coach, Mike McCarthy, who has to be better than he has been in the past in those situations that Rob is talking about. That means Dak Prescott. Look, Dak Prescott is being paid as a guy who's a difference maker. He's being paid as a guy who when you say, look, we're going to get rid of Amari Cooper. And now it's not going to be, you know, you're not going to have two guys. You're not going to have him and CD together. You're going to have him. You're going to have Michael Gallup. We don't know how he's going to be. You're going to have James Washington. And then Ezekiel Elliott. Look, the offensive line coach, another guy who's going to be on the hot seat this year because he has to develop an offensive line with some young players that they brought in to kind of help build up the depth and eventually the front line starters. He's going to get those guys playing on the same accord because Ezekiel Elliott needs their help. Those are the people who are really in the spotlight this year. There are certain guys who are being paid, as Mike Tannenbaum calls them, to be force multipliers, meaning I'm so good I make you better. Dak Prescott has to be so good he makes the wide receiver core better and the offensive line better. And Ezekiel Elliott, he has to be better to make that offensive line look better. And Mike McCarthy, man, I've known Mike for a long time. Mike was a GA at the University of Pittsburgh when I was there. Mike has to – this is a big year, man. These guys have to coach and play above what their normal expectation is for sure.
It sort of feels in some ways, I don't know about Super Bowl or bust, but it feels like you got to win, at least, as Dan said, a couple of playoff games to feel good about your job security going forward. Nika, let me ask you about this NFC East. Are they the favorites in this division, or how close is the gap between them and, I would guess, Philadelphia?
How close is it?
Yeah.
Paper thin. And when you look at the Eagles, you know, Hurts, I'm not going to say Hurts is close to Dak right now, but he potentially could. I mean, you look at last year, if he can take another step forward and he can develop, I really think that he could be one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And again, the wide receiver position, they got a bunch of young talent on this team. The defensive side, the pass rush, I really think that it's a two-team race. And it's going to come down to the matchups and how they perform and also health. You know, how healthy can you stay throughout the season? Because you've seen it year in and year out. A team that starts in September isn't the same team in December. They're going to have to stay healthy. But I think the Eagles are very close to the Dallas Cowboys.
Think so, Grass?
The last time there was a repeat champion in this division, my older son was a year old. In 2 months, he's leaving for college. This is not a coincidence. There will not be a repeat champion in the NFC East. It won't be the Cowboys.
How about that? I love it.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.